But what I thought about, life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. In the sense that whatever you envision becomes true. And some doctors were very pessimistic. They said I would live my whole life, that I wouldn't be able to do the things I wanted to do. And I didn't accept that. I decided that I was going to be physically as strong, and then mentally stronger. Because again, life is what you envision it. If you envision success, you'll succeed. If you envision failure, you will fail. So I just took the highest route possible. And I said, I'm going to grow and learn from this event. And another route, you could feel a lot of hatred towards your attacker. There's a news clip of myself taken where my mother is very angry at my attacker, which is understandable. But instead, what I realized is to hate my attacker, it's not going to make time go back. It's not going to heal my shattered bones. To hate my attacker indirectly would be to hate myself. It would be to say that who I was before the accident was a lesser person than who I was afterwards. And I don't want to do that. You got to love yourself. Come on, look at you. You got to love yourself. But I had all this energy. Rather than hate my attacker, I directed it inside. And I said, I'm going to use it to physically recover. And I directed myself, and I spent 8 hours a day doing physical therapy. And now I can run 6 miles. And I can dance like a madman, which you may see later. But through that, I didn't want to waste my time. Don't waste your time on hatred. Focus on the positives in life. And then finally, what I did instead is I decided to use tragedy, that this tragedy was going to be a springboard towards evolution. Because what I realized quickly in that hospital bed, there I was. I knew my life had changed, but I was learning so much. I was realizing how important every moment is, and I was very thankful to be alive. And what I realized is that this is an opportunity for me to grow to the next level. And as a result, I came so close to death, I really examined life. And it actually gave me a whole new purpose on life. And I'd like to ask everyone here, what is the purpose, what is the goal of life? Please don't say money. There's so much more to life than money. There's sex, there's power, other things you should be focused on.
Be happy.
Oh, great, so, a good man right there, be happy. Be happy. And actually, before the accident, that was my life goal. I want to be happy, and I want to make others around me happy. And I'm actually quite good at that, as you can imagine. But one thing I realized is that I was learning a huge amount from this accident, and that there's value to sadness. There's value to tragedy. And I changed my philosophy. Instead of my life purpose being happiness, it was evolution, growth. The beautiful part about evolution and growth as your life purpose, it encompasses the full spectrum of emotions, the full circle of emotions. And I would use this tragedy, this sadness, as a springboard to a greater wisdom, evolution, and self-confidence. And of course, happiness is a result of a life well lived. But when you are sad, when you have that bad moment in life, take that as an opportunity to go to that next level. Envision the future success, the greater wisdom and insight you will have. And through doing so, that moment of sadness, you're just going to launch yourself higher. When bad things happen to me, I immediately look towards the future and how much I can learn from this event. Did you have a question?
I was responding to your question. I was too polite. I raised my hand.
Oh, there. Politeness will not get you far in this world. Katie, please.
I love that. No, I mean.
You probably agree. As a fellow sexy woman yourself, you've already seen these lessons. You've learned. I understand that. It's a beautiful thing. And the great part, too, is I actually broke free. This is one of the start where I started breaking free, where you realize life is short. You never know when it's going to end. And I stopped caring what people thought about me. And the beautiful part is the paradox. But once you stop caring what people think about you, the more people care to be around you. Once you stop caring what people think about you, the more they care to be around you, because everybody wants to be free in life. Everybody wants to live their true life. But people are afraid to start. And if you can be that spark to launch them to the next level, then you're going to set them free. And that's how I want to live my life. I want to push others to the greatest potential. And that's what it taught me. And one of the ways I started, when I entered real estate, getting back to, again, this is a business networking, my success in real estate came from many of the life lessons I learned. And a lot of that was breaking free. When I entered real estate 9+ years ago, I looked at my market, mainly Palo Alto and surrounding cities. I want to stand apart. And I launched a marketing campaign that was very distinct and unique. and some of the ads I ran, I wanted to just be memorable. So this is when the Giants, but how about this? You want your reel to be a rock star. This is when the Giants were very, still successful, and they had some great numbers. Most improved player, talked about my success, most valuable player, and then a few more. And then how about, during Halloween, I ran this Halloween series. You want your reel to be a rock star. This kind of ad, it's not going to appeal to everybody. The key is, you don't need everybody. A mistake that many people in life make is that they try to appeal to everybody and not offend anyone. But if you don't want to offend anyone, in the end, you're not going to attract anyone. I want my target audience to love me. And the great part about these ads, how about this one? #1 guy in America, right here. As some of you may remember the Village People, YMCA. Here I'm having a parody, I'm making fun of it. And again, I know it's out of the box. That's the goal. Just have fun with life. And again, maybe you don't want to emulate it, but I thought, if 20% of the world loves me, that's all I need. If I'm selling 20% of the homes in my city, I'm going to be just a little bit successful, and obviously that's the case. So what I would say, just to give you the confidence, be yourself. Go to the next level. However you may manifest it. It may not be dressing in crazy costumes, but I would say have the courage to be distinctly yourself, and you will succeed. And it's empirically proven through myself. And then so little time, so many tragedies. Let me go forward a little bit. So from the accidents, I had the accidents. It gave me the courage to break free. I was a lawyer for many years. But then I realized life is short. I want to do something I love, so I entered real estate. And then life is going well. And to go back a few years, I had 2 little children at the time, 2 daughters. My wife was pregnant with her 3rd child, our son. And I started feeling a little bit of back pain. I didn't think too much of it. I'm bending down, picking the kids up all the time. But then the back pain got worse and worse. So to the point where I couldn't even sleep at night. So I finally saw my doctor. And I went to my doctor, and he said, let's take an MRI, see how you are. He called me up immediately the next day. I was a little worried. And I came in, I rushed over, he called me in the morning, I was still in shorts. And he goes, Ken, I have some good news for you and some bad news. I'm like, okay, what's the good news? The good news is your spine, your back, they're completely straight. You're fine. The bad news? The bad news is you have a tumor the size of a softball. You have a huge lump inside you. That's causing the back pain. And I couldn't believe it. I was 35 at the time. What would it be? And I said, Doc, how could that be? And he looked down at I was wearing shorts, looked down at my scars. He goes, tell me about your scars. And I told him about my accident. And he goes, what I think you have is lymphoma. Lymphoma is cancer of the lymph nodes. And we don't know exactly what causes it. But we do know that lymphoma is highly correlated with trauma. And the trauma you experienced to your right leg, it looks like this is the lymph node that drains your right leg. So that's what caused it. And I felt the tears welling up in my eyes. I thought of my 2 daughters I was holding that morning. The son I might not get to see. And then he books an appointment for me at the Stanford Cancer Center. And he says, you need to leave in an hour to get diagnosed. So I just couldn't handle it. I went to the restroom and I started crying. Just thinking about all the loss I might experience in my family. But through those tears, after an hour, it was literally that quick, I realized I was strong enough for this tragedy. And I realized there's only 2 outcomes. There's life or death. And I thought of life. Well, no matter what of those outcomes, I want to be confident and optimistic. What if I could survive? I believe in the mind-body connection. The more that I believe in my survival and my strength, the higher the likelihood percentage of my surviving. That being said, a lot of great people succumb and die with cancer. What if that were the case? All the more reason to be confident, enjoy every moment. Don't fear death. Fear living a mediocre life. So what I did to illustrate it, I went through chemotherapy. I started losing my hair, which happens with chemotherapy. Most people would be pretty bummed out. I'm maybe dying, and I'm losing my hair. Not me. I called my friends up. I'm having a head shaving party. Who's coming? And I called up all my friends. What hairstyle do you want? Of course, Mohawk won. So there I was, and I kept it for about a week. I gotta say, I was pretty tough. You know, kind of a Mr. T. I pity the fool who doesn't give me some real estate business. And I just had a great mindset. And then finally, I got rid of it. And I said, hey, I cured that fear of baldness. I look good bald. There's my son was born.